All right. So we're going to talk about the Bacon Street Blues and how to spontaneously compose your own solo, right? And so there's a process for this. Some people can do this in their head, and some people may need to write down some of their ideas, and that's what this process is all about. So as you can see, this is the lead sheet for the tenor saxophone, and these are chords, right? Chord names and things like that. And I'm just going to go through how I would do this. And if you want some help on how to do it, it would be great if you can contact me either an email so we can set up a Zoom time or visit during the support hour. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So one of the things I want you to notice right away is in this lead sheet, I've created an open space for you to write your own solo out. And on my right, I've went ahead and written out the chords as they relate to the chord symbols. So I've got my notes ready to go. So the first step, and I learned this process from Carl Cafagna. This is not mine, but the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do, okay, is to simply choose 3 to 4 notes, and these can be any notes you want. That may consist of you sitting down at the piano and figuring what you'd like to hear. So I'm just going to go ahead and write notes, and then I'm going to ask you to come up with some rhythms. Okay. And we'll combine these, all right, in a little bit here to create a solo. And you'll see how that goes. So step 1 is create a set of notes that you like. Okay, so this could be, maybe you want to pick, maybe we have C, E, B flat, G. Okay, and then you pick out you write down some rhythms. So it could be quarter note, 2 eighth notes, and a quarter note. It could be a dotted half note and a quarter note. It could be an eighth note followed by quarter note followed by an eighth note and followed by a half note, right? So you've got 3 rhythms, and just to make this symmetrical, we'll write down another set of pitches here. We'll do, how about D, E, and F sharp. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pick this D, E, F sharp, and I'm going to look at my rhythms, and I think I'm going to pick this. And maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll pick one more note. Here, I'll add one more note. So one thing I can do is write out my rhythm like I have it written down here. So I would have D, D, E, F sharp, G. Now I'm going to look at my pitches here. Do I have a D in the C7? I don't, but I could move that D down, right, to a C, and then that would fit my chord. Do I have an E? I do. Do I have an F sharp? I don't. So what could I choose? Well, C, E, G, B flat. Why don't I do the G, right? And I could go back to the E, since or I can keep it on the G. In fact, I'll do that. All right, so now I'll plug in my rhythm, which would be quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, followed by a rest. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now I'm going to look. I'm going to write out my D. Again, these same notes, E, F sharp, G. Now, I'm going to highlight my F7 chord. FAC. So do I have an F? I'm sorry, a D in this. I don't. What's my next closest one? Well, a C, right? So that actually works because now I'm kind of repeating the same thing, but it's going to sound a little bit different because that's a different note in the chord. Do I have an E? I have an E flat, so I can add a flat in front of that. Do I have an F sharp? I don't, but I have an F natural. Do I have a G? No, but I can play the F natural again. Okay. And then we go ahead and simply plug in our rhythm, right?
So I've got G, B flat, D, and F. So I'll highlight the C7 chord, right? That's the second chord, and then this chord. So my first, do I have a D? I do have a D, so I can keep that. Do I have an E? No, but I can use an F natural, and that will get me close to that next note, right? Do I have an F sharp, right? That wasn't F sharp before. No, but I can drop this down now to an E, and then I can keep the G where it is. So we have this. Cool. Followed by that rest. Now let's look at the F7 chord. So I'll unhighlight F7. In fact, we've already got it here, right? So we can just plug that in. And then we have the C7 and B7, right? So let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's highlight those two chords. We've got the C7 here, and then we have the B7, which is right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in our original scheme here, which was D, remember, E, D, E, F sharp, and G. So remember, I don't have a D, so I can move that D down to the C. I can leave the E where it is. Now I'm in that B7 chord. Do I have an F sharp? I do have an F sharp, so I can keep that. Do I have a G? I don't, so I can move that up to an A. And that'll be hit, and then I'll plug in my rhythm. Quarter, eighth, 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 quarter, rest. Let's do the same thing now with our original D, E, F sharp, right, G. So now let me look at my B flat 7 and my A augmented 7. So we'll go here. Here we go, highlight that. And then B flat 7, right? Whoops, that's the wrong one. Here's the B flat 7, right? So now, do I have a D in that B flat 7? I do. So I can keep that. Do I have an E? I don't. I can move that up to an F, and that would fit my chord, right? Do I have a, now I'm into that A augmented 7. Do I have an F sharp in that A augmented 7? No, I don't. But E sharp is enharmonic to that pitch, so I can leave it like that, or I can erase it, and just for a little bit more added motion, I can put the G here, and then have that move back down to the E sharp, or enharmonic, right, F natural. So we'll just leave it as that so we can spell it correctly. And then add our thing there. Now let's plug in our notes again, D, E, F sharp, G. We're now in the D7 chord, so let's highlight that. D7 flat 9, so we've got a D, F sharp, so we can use the D. We have the E. Don't really have the E, but I can plug that E flat in. And if you remember that flat 2, right, think about that chromatic minor scale that we've been talking about. So that's going to create a really cool sound. If we can keep the F sharp, we sure can, and we can move the G up to the A. That'll probably sound pretty hip. Okay, and now we're on to the G augmented 7. So let's highlight that chord. And let's plug in our initial notes, so that G, E, D, I'm sorry, D, E, F sharp, and G. Right, cool. Now, do we have a D? No, but we have a D sharp. Do we have an E? No, but we have, the next closest thing would be that F sharp, right? An F natural, sorry. So F natural, and then we can move that next note up to a G, and we can move the next note up to a B, which will be cool because that kind of ends up being a leading tone to the C. All right, and now we get to the C7, so we'll just plug in our first, I'm going to go over here, C, E, G, okay, and then we have that A augmented, so if we look over here, we ended up on that E sharp, so that'll be kind of hip, quarter note, right, okay, and then we get to the D7 flat 9 again, so we can go to that D, E flat, and F sharp, and we can go to the G. And so now I've written out a solo, okay? And so I'm gonna now play this on the saxophone so you can kind of hear it. Bye.